What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be taking a look at an RPG that I'd actually never heard of, a little open world RPG. It didn't, at first glance, actually catch my attention, so I played like the first hour, sort of like, okay, so like when is something going to happen here? But I've put about 3.5 hours into the game today. I plan on putting a few more in, actually, because I'm really enjoying myself. So there's more than meets the eye to this one. This game is very early along in its development right now. They're planning on doing a playtest in the next month or so that's going to let the general public on in. But they reached out to me this morning and asked if I wanted to take a look at it. So I did, and honestly, my impressions are that if they actually managed to pull off all the stuff that's implied by the tooltips and all the things that are in the description of the game, because as of right now, as far as I can tell, about half of the game isn't really like implemented yet, but if they get all those things in there from the core gameplay that I've experienced so far, I think they might have a little winner on their hands. And so today we're going to be taking a look at Dimraeth. If you wanted to check out Dimraeth and add it to your wish list for when a playtest inevitably goes through, you are more than welcome to do that down in my description. I got a link for you. On top of that, you can take a look down there, find a bunch of other Nerd Castle links that are absolutely shining and golden. But for now, let's dive on into the game because we got 30 or 40 minutes to kill. I'll try to talk about the things that I do like, that I don't like, give you my first impressions of the game so that you can make an educated decision as to your own purchasing habits. But let's dive on into it. So really, I'm going to show you the character creation first. There's not a whole lot to it right now, but there is a little bit of character creation at the moment, with a lot more intended as the game gets fuller and more developed on out. So like if we wanted to create a new character right here, for the moment you can be a human or you can be a minotaur. I like that a lot because, like, Minotaurs are one of my favorite races in all of fantasy media. So any game that allows me to play as a Minotaur instantaneously catches my attention. I'd be lying if I said that it wasn't the reason that I actually dove into this game, is because not only do they have Minotaurs, but they put the Minotaur up on the thumbnail of the game, bro. And so I was like, ooh, they put him front and center. All right. But as of right now, there's only 2 race choices and there's 2 class choices. You can be a brawler or a magician. And as the game develops out and gets closer to its release, they are intending to have 10 different races and then also 6 different classes. On top of that, it seems like the game is going to have some kind of reputation or some kind of like emotion system inside of it, because you also pick your persona, whether or not you're a joker or you're noble or you're stoic or whatever else. And the dialogue options in this game, they do have these icons next to them in various different colors. So I'm guessing at some point during the course of this game's development, that's also going to factor in order to make your character unique in the decisions that they make compared to the way that other players play on through the game. That's pretty much all there is to character creation right now, so fairly limited with this first playtest, but let's dive on into the game and give it a go. Okay, so welcome to Dimraeth. In Dimraeth, this game is very, very heavily influenced. Like, I would say that it like represents a cross-section that's somewhere in between Hyperlight Drifter and also like Diablo, I guess, but also set in an open world. And so this is one of those games where there's quests everywhere, there's all kinds of loot to stack, your character does level up and get stronger as the game goes along. For right now, though, let's blow up a couple of wolves, and then I'll show you some of the specifics that we're going to be playing around with. I don't know why the camera zoomed in so close right here. It must be because I was fighting enemies in a close arrangement. But right now, I am playing as a Minotaur Brawler. However, just because you picked Minotaur Brawler as your class does not mean that your character is actually going to be locked into only fisticuffs and melee and stuff like that. My character actually does have a solid amount of options when it comes to actually casting magic. So after I finish off that wolf right there, I've got a fireball that I can shoot off right there that actually finished off that guy. You didn't really get to see the graphic. When I'm outside of combat, I can't actually cast that fireball, but I do have a fireball. Let me see if I can find something that I can fireball real quick. Will it let me fireball that rabbit? There you go. I can shoot a fireball at the rabbit. The rabbit drops some critter meat right there. The game does have a crafting system, and in fact, the crafting system is kind of emergent in this game from what I've seen so far. The game doesn't actually tell you the recipes for things. Instead, you've got to like read the item descriptions, and inside the item descriptions, it'll give you little pieces of world lore and stuff like that that'll let you know how the item is actually meant to be used as you're cruising your way through the game. Now, when you're fighting against enemies, you may have noticed that there's a couple little meters that are going to be above all these different wolves that we're fighting with right now. The red one is obviously their health. The yellow is their poise. This game does have a stagger and stun system that if you can max out the yellow meter on somebody, they get stunned for like 5 or 6 seconds, and it really opens them up to taking a ton of damage. You can really smack them around if you want to. A towering egg of the old ones rests amidst the crumbling stone. Okay, well, let's take a look at the world map for right now. At 4 hours into the game, this is about all of the world map that I have uncovered as of right now. I'm currently right here. I'm actually hidden behind this little icon for a quest that I'm on. They want me to slay some beast wardens down here. I will probably go down and do that, so let's see if we can find them just kind of in the neighborhood. Because there is crafting in this game, you will find yourself mining, chopping wood, all that kind of stuff as you move through the game. Why is my dodge not working? Oh, my dodge is not working because it's used up when I do my little dash charge right there. All right, let's give him a fireball right there. We'll dash back in. Hopefully my dash is back up right there. Trying to rely on a little bit of swiftness right now to avoid getting smashed. But the good news is I've kind of out-leveled these wolves, so they're not really that big of a problem. My character is a two-handed brawler, so he's going to be a little bit slower and clunkier than if you were playing like a human that has lots of rapid strikes and stuff like that. On top of that, this is the default movement speed right here. A little bit slow. I'd probably recommend that they boost it on up. The good news is you do have an inventory with equipment that can be slotted into different areas that gives you different stats, and so it is possible in this game to get your excess movement speed, stamina regen, attack speed, all that kind of stuff from the loot that you're stacking on your character. However, the slow movement speed does give the game a little bit of a clunky feeling. Like, as you're playing the earlier part of the game, it started feeling a little bit better to me once I got like 20% more attack speed and maybe like 10% more movement speed. Oh, we're actually getting starched right now. That's not great. Okay, let me fall back for a minute because they're firing all kinds of projectiles at me. I have 3 meters that I need to babysit out here that you may notice. I don't know exactly. I need to... Oh, dude. Okay, I tried to space it out. In general, with these guys right here, you're going to want to dash through them whenever they, like, trigger up their attack. But the downside to it is... Ooh, I didn't know if I was going to get the stun right there. Fact is, I did not get the stun. Get them with a fireball. If I can kill off, like, one of them, that'll make things a lot easier right here. I've never fought 2 of these things stacked up at the moment. But anyway, oh, God. Okay, I ate another one. Good news is I've been pumping the hell out of my HP because I'm bad at dodging a lot of the time. Enemies are going to drop loot all over the place. It looks like we've got ourselves a Dryad Lock, a Sharp Beast Fury Cloth Lining. Okay, and then we've got a Dryad Lock right there. Those are going to be crafting materials. This guy right here is an undercoat for the gear that we already have on just by nature of our character having a sprite. And so this right here actually increases our rate of critical hit. A lot of these things are a part of Diablo-style item sets that will give you another bit of like bonus damage or bonus movement speed or whatever else when you interact with them. That's a point of interest right there, the Root Call Veil. We've also got a chest on this side we can take a look at. Doesn't look like there's too much inside of there, just like a little bit of gray gear. I don't think I can walk down that way. Did that actually work for my quest right there? It did. We've got them all nice and cleared out. And so I've got another quest. I met a dwarf over here in the forest that was having like a camping trip, and apparently he's looking for some ancient elvish script that's written on a tree. So we need to track down wherever that tree might be in this upper area. So let's head on out and do it. But as I was saying before we got so ruthlessly jumped by all kinds of dryads in the forest shooting needles at me, I've got 3 meters down here. So meter number 1 is going to be my stamina. That functions exactly like Elden Ring or Dark Souls. When it goes down to 0, you can't do anything. You can't sprint in combat, you can't dodge, you can't swing. You're basically just a Monster Hunter victim waiting to happen. Green is concentration. That's going to be your mana, so there's going to be a split. Anything physical or anything melee is going to be triggering stamina, and then anything that's magical is going to be triggering off your green meter right there, and then the red, obviously being the only one left, is going to be our HP. On top of that, this game does have a survival aspect to it where you do need to cook, consume, and eat food if you want to keep yourself actually fully statted on up. Oh, I wanted to dodge out of that. Let's go ahead and light that off right there. There we go. I've got like a little flame AoE that I can do as I'm closing the gap with the enemy in order to like get a bunch of stun and also put a little bit of a fire tick on them. Helps out quite a bit. He dropped beast meat. I don't know if I need more beast meat. I'm kind of like full up on it, but maybe I'll sell it when I get home. Your HP does come back very rapidly in this game once you're outside of combat. You can sort of cleverly use that to dip in and dip out of combat while you've got enemies aggroed on you in order to like restart your regeneration if you wanted to. Oof, knocked out right at the front of it. All right, you guys go away. I may have jumped away too far for my AoE explosion to go off right there. But these guys, honestly, they can't really harm me anyways. Those are like level 1 enemies. What is this thing right here? If I stand on it, does something happen? I bet you a quest or something's going to happen in this spot once we get a little bit further on into the game. Let me get my quest log over here. I'm just going to like trigger that quest right there. It looks like I've actually got to search this area to figure out where it's at, but I need a little bit more XP so that I can level up a tad more aggressively. XP in this game, it's actually like a pool, so it's kind of sandboxy in the way that you've got your XP arranged inside of this game. And so basically your XP is a large pool and you spend it just like in Dark Souls in order to increase your attributes, but as you increase your attributes, there's another separate meter that fills up that's like your generalized character level, and once that hits the threshold, you get skill points that go into what is kind of like a medium-sized skill tree right now, but I bet the skill tree is going to be a lot bigger once they've got like all 6 classes or 7 classes or whatever it's going to be into the game. Open up with a fireball right there. Yeah, maybe don't tag me with that. I'm going to keep it to little light hits for right now. These guys are closing with me, so let's get our AoE off right there. Put a fireball on him. Doesn't look like anybody's about to attack. Oh, he is. Never mind. I can stun him, though, before it goes off. And then these guys right here, catch him with another fireball, dash back. We'll get him behind him. Looks like we got a rune drop right there, which is nice, because the rune drop will allow us. So even if the rune isn't useful, this game has a system that I like very, very much with respect to the way gear works. And so any of this gear that you see dropping right here, if it doesn't end up having stats on it that make you happy, you can break it down for rune dust, and then everything that I have equipped right now, you can take it to the forge, and you can infuse it with rune dust, and the stats on the things you do like and the things you have been working on will slowly tick upwards and get stronger. So like when I first got this rune right here, the attack speed on it was only like plus 1.0. Now it's up to like 4. I've actually been boosting the hell out of it because I don't know if you noticed, but my combos in this game, they tend to lock me in position a lot because my weapon is so large and unwieldy that I want my attacks to go off much, much quicker than they currently do. Taking a look at the map right now, it looks like we've searched most of this area. Let's maybe see if we can search over to the left to find this tree. Few more wolves in front of us right now. Unfortunately, like an idiot, I triggered my dodge early right there. The enemies in this game do kind of do like the Kung Fu movie thing. They sometimes attack simultaneously, but usually they kind of like stand off until one of them attacks and then another one will trigger an attack, so on and so forth. So you don't have to worry about like overwhelming attacks coming through a lot of the time. Those wolf fangs are worth a little bit of money when we get back to town. And there is base building in this game as well. Like there's all kinds of things to fool around with, man. The actual like breadth of things that you can do in this game honestly kind of surprised me. I'm gonna run in real fast. Yeah, get them with the explosion. Maybe knock him out a little bit. Throw a fireball that way. That one dashed through and got me, unfortunately, so now I got a bleed all over me. I do have bandages, but frankly, I found that the bleed doesn't do enough damage to my character to where I need to use my consumables as we go through. That's a mining node, in case you were wondering, but like I don't really have anything to mine for right now. It's saying that maybe the tree is down here. The game does have quest markers and stuff. I don't remember what this kind of dryad does. This kind of dryad does something. I don't know if she like shoots like a little arrow at me. I think she just shot. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna bet that those flowers are probably not great for my health. One thing that really stood out with this game to me is just how high quality all of the pixel art is. Like, it's a really good looking game that kind of jumps off the screen while you're playing it. And so there we go. We knocked out that dryad. She dropped a rune, which is really great. I'll take the rune and the lock. I need more of these berries right here. I haven't figured out the recipe yet for healing potions, but I need to get some healing potions before too long. And I'm guessing we're going to have some kind of confrontation with something big down here, and I'm gonna have to be able to take care of it with just a single health bar without getting screwed over. More wolves? Okay. Dash out on that. Let's maybe not eat any of those. Got you right there. Big explosion. Okay, dash in on them right there for the AoE. Maybe a little bit more stun action. Dash out on that AoE that he's lighting off. And we'll just keep it chunking. Well, they missed me with one, but they got me with the others. So it was one of those situations where you catch a little bit, but you also dodge a little bit. All right, there we go right there. This is the spot that we need to be in. Hidden beneath the bark at the stump's base, remnants of ancient elven text cling to the weathered wood. Okay, so our little dwarvish bard friend, we actually helped him out with his quest. Let's go over here. Yep, don't want to do that. If I can split some of these out a little bit before we get back in there, that'd probably be helpful. Do I have a fireball ready to go? Yeah, just fireball him up real quick. That guy's got a little bit of stagger on him, but I doubt that it's going to be enough. Oh, this one's firing projectiles too. We got all kinds of things that we need to look into right now. Keep damage on her. I just used up my dodge, so I need to stay away from her for a second until she fires her next AoE. This wolf right here, if I can lay him low real quick, that'd work. Magic spell's not back up yet, but I can get them with a little charge. There goes another one right there. Cool. Let me get my AoE popping, because that lady right there, she's just stuck in place right now, so it doesn't really matter too much. And what else we got? Dryad Lock and another cloth lining. How's my encumbrance looking? 122 out of 140. All right, so we're going to have to go back to base in just a second. The good news is there's lots of stuff for me to show you back at base, and so we're going to have to go back there anyways while I resupply, just in order to explain other mechanics that exist inside the game. Haman stares at the trunk in silence, his brow furrowed, not in anger, but in reflection. This our tree? Yeah, that's it, or was. Looks like the villagers took an axe to it. There's not but a sliver of bark near the roots, just enough for a whisper to hide in, but only a small part remains. What words survive? He chuckles under his breath with his eyes misty. The old elf, he knew this day would come. It reads, "And oh, to end this poem, long after the end of me and the end of this tree, I write to you, last reader, whom I now see. You will carry my story into the morrow of eternity. Yours is a kind that sees only the past, yet has more future than I have left to see. I see you at the end of my story, and at the end of this poem, the last poem of Aranor, now at last lost into eternity." Maybe he meant for it to vanish, or maybe he knew that it would, no matter what he did. Well, maybe his poem was about loss as much as it was about the poem itself. Yeah, in all futures he saw, he chose the one where the poem reached me, to be an elf and to see every path tomorrow might take, and still not know what lies at the end of it. He knew his words would reach somebody like me, another artist or another soul trying to make sense of it all, but he couldn't know how to interpret it. Or what I'd become. Just like him, I'm looking forward through the fog. In the end, none of us see the final truth. We're all just steerers of our own wee ships trying to chart the tides of time. That's what he was doing and what we're doing. What even the old elven emperors were doing with their bloody purge. That's the message and that's the poem. What are you up to now? Not sure yet. I need time to think and to thank. To thank you, friend, for helping me find this, truly. Well, I'm glad I could be of assistance. Quest completed. We got like 700 XP right there. In any case, you've my thanks, friend. I've been feeling we'll cross paths again, maybe in Earlwood, maybe in some tale yet unwritten. Until then, it's a good day to you. All right, well, we got that done. That little icon right there means that he has lore. Sometimes lore conversations will lead to actual quests, and so it can definitely be worth it to sit down and talk to NPCs when they have any type of symbol up above their head, just for what it's worth inside of this game. It's not always going to be readily apparent that there's a quest that's nested down deep inside the dialogue of a character, but what is that? I've never seen that before. What is this guy? We got copper ore. Oh, nice, dude. Okay, I've never found copper ore before. There hasn't been any forging or anything that I can do as of yet, but then again, I haven't built up my base that much yet either. Open with a fireball. We've got another treasure chest over there. See if I can get this guy lit up good and proper on that side. Maybe combo into something like that right there, too, although that wolf jumped in front of his friend and ate it for him. Big slugger right there. Get him with a fireball. Maybe get an AoE going right before he attacks out. Good stuff. Honestly, like, even though the actual combat in this game can feel a little bit clunky, I feel as though the clunkiness is sort of excused by the fact that there's a rhythm to it in, like, the way that you can animation break and whatnot as you go through the game. Like, it does allow you to animation break from time to time where you can, like, dash out of various attacks. And so despite the fact that our character is kind of lunky and clunky due to being a giant minotaur with a ridiculously man-sized axe, like, there is a fluidity to it too, and yet the dodges never get so long in this game that it starts to feel like a pure action game. Was that an ant right there? I don't want to mess with that. Let's just go back to town for right now because we've got XP to spend, and I'll show you what some of the various advancements look like inside this title. Let me go through my gear, and we'll look at the various crafting benches. We'll also go back to my base and take a look at that, see if there's anything that we can build up on that side in order to make ourselves a little bit more proficient, or maybe have a better chance to survive as we get further on into the game. We are a little bit hungry and thirsty right now, though, and when you're hungry and thirsty, it reduces the size of your meters, which is real bad in a game. Like, I was getting chunked by this mob earlier when I was playing, and I was like, dude, why am I taking so much damage right now? I'm getting absolutely sat down. It's because I was hungry and thirsty. So first things first, at the Forge, as previously mentioned, at the Forge, you can break down all the gear that you get with a very satisfying little animation. It'll give you rune shards, and then if you want your character to be faster, or have more stamina, or have more crit rate, or whatever else, I'm going to go for movement speed for right now. You just slot that in right there, and then you just hit that upgrade button as many times as you find satisfying, and it'll upgrade the stats on it. You put it back on, and then it'll increase the size of your meters. It'll make it so you move a little bit better. I don't think that like 2% movement speed is really going to be super feelable right now inside of our character, but it's something, and I'm building towards it right now. I also have a lot of equipment slots that I'm guessing are like quest locked. You're not going to get to them until you're even further into the game that I'm in. Either that or they haven't been implemented yet, but there are other slots down here that I can fill out as well, and so I'm definitely looking forward to having a bunch more things that I can slot in. Over here on this side, we've got ourselves a vendor. This guy also gives out a lot of quests if you manage to talk to him. Let's go ahead and trade with him for a second because I got lots of stuff I need to offload. We're like crazy weighed down right now. I'll probably just ditch the copper ore for the moment. Yeah, let's just get things out of our inventory until we're feeling a little bit better about our encumbrance. Inside of here, you can buy various things. I need to buy health potions, actually. Like, I'm real dismal on health potions right now. I've been going through them like crazy because I'm bad at video games. But we've got ourselves stocked on up. I've already bought every single recipe that we had inside of there. Oh, he moved into the town. Nice. He wasn't here before. The game map is dynamic. Like, the NPCs do move around as the quests hit different triggers and whatnot, just to make it feel a little bit more alive. But character progression, probably something that you guys are going to be interested in. Inside the character progression over here, you're going to talk to this guy. He is your character trainer. And as I already mentioned, we've got a pool of XP. We can spend that increasing any of the attributes that we want. I think because we're a minotaur, agility increases your attack speed pretty aggressively, but man, increasing agility costs me a fortune, so I'm relying on aftermarket gear right now to get some attack speed up. If you think my attack speed looks slow now, man, you should have seen it when I first started out the game earlier. Right now, I've actually got like an extra 20% attack speed, and so it's slowly getting better. What I'd like to do is, I'd actually like to put something into physique, I think, because I'd like to have more HP and I'd like to have more encumbrance. So I'm going to take my physique up because, like, what kind of minotaur doesn't have an imposing physique? From there, I'd like to increase whatever allows me to have, like, a little bit more stamina. Although physical damage I wouldn't be against either. Like, I think all of that sounds good. And then maybe 1 point to adventure. That way we get, like, some skill points. Yeah, we got 2 skill points right there. So once you've got your skill points all dialed in, you can actually come back over to here, and you can go into the spells menu on this side, and the game has a character sheet over here that you spend your attribute points on. In order to get stronger, you can also take a look and see what spells you've unlocked occasionally. Some of the spells are crafted, so you're going to have to harvest things from the game world in order to get them. Other spells you're just going to be given as rewards for quests and whatever else. There's no limit on who can do what from what I've seen so far, so if you're a warrior, feel free to take that fireball scroll and learn it. Likewise, if you're a mage, feel free to take a whirlwind scroll if you find one, you know? Over here, I've already got all my attack speed in. I did want to get my whirlwind attack over on this side, but then again, I also wanted to get my fireball to become an AoE. That way it hits everything that I'm firing at. And so I'm a little bit conflicted right there. I can toss a boulder. I kind of want that too. Yeah, I'd rather throw a boulder than do other things. So let's get our boulder over here and we'll put it on our R key and we'll test that out the next time we go out afield. From there are other progression things going on as well that will aid your character. Our character does come stocked with his own base building area. But I'm going to go out into the forest real quick and grab some stuff because I saw a vendor out there but I was broke and he had like refined goods that I don't have access to yet, so I'll be right back. So if you go to the map, what you can do is you can actually go to the Sanctum at any time. The Sanctum is your own personal little sandbox area where you build up a base with all kinds of workbenches, and you basically do like the Don't Starve thing, where you can refine, wood into planks, you can build workbenches, you can build a house inside of here, you can farm, you can do all kinds of little things, and as you advance different vendors' quests and you get a better relationship with them by answering their questions in ways that they find satisfactory, they'll actually move into your base too. That way you don't need to teleport back to the town in order to interact with them, which I think is really, really nice. For right now, I do have some things that I wanted to build. I've got a workbench over here. I would very much like to put in a workbench. That sounds like the kind of thing that I'd be down for. And then also an alchemy bench I think would be a really good idea too. If I had stone nails, I could make some other stuff, but the game really does kind of have all these little systems that you can interact with, and they're all kind of like not fully implemented yet. But, dude, once they do get everything implemented, like post this playtest, very, very exciting stuff. Do I know any recipes for right now? I bet if I put, like, rocks inside of here, I bet we can get ourselves, like, stone nails. That way I could make a storage chest and actually start being able to cruise around the world without being over-encumbered. I've got so many, like, little things on me right now that are, in general, important to my overall survival that, like, I just haven't gotten around to refining everything off, turning it into stuff that I can utilize. But I did want to take a look and see if... I wanted to take a look and see if I could make my own potions, actually, instead of having to buy them all the time because they're kind of pricey. Well, I figured out the health potion recipe over here without actually having to buy it. The tree ant heart, if you read the description on the tree ant heart, it says that if you combine it with droop gel, it makes a restorative salve, and then I had like glass vials. And so I figured with glass vials in my inventory, just throw those on in there and look at that, dude. We can manufacture our own health potions right now. Good stuff. So I have a weak health extract. These ones are actually better than the one that I have. So these will barely give me a quarter of my health back. These will give me about half of my health back, which will definitely be helpful. And the cool thing is, if you emergently figure out one of the crafting recipes in this game, it just adds it. You don't need to buy it from a vendor or anything else, which is probably a good thing because the game doesn't do a super good job at letting you know what recipes you have and don't have when you go to a vendor. Alright, well, we got XP to get, and we still got, like, a main storyline quest in front of me that I think is going to culminate with us fighting a big-ass monster. So let's maybe jump over to Earlwood real fast, and we'll take a look and see, do I have any waypoints that are kind of near where this is at? I do, yeah, so we can start off just to the right of it and then head into this area. Apparently there's some kind of corrupted beast or something that's just like rampaging around. And so let me take those health potions out of there. We'll put those in right there. Move that to there. And then we've got like 10 of these bad boys right here. Oh, it looks like you can only have one type of health potion maybe slotted in at a time. So I'm guessing the things they have over here, it's probably health potion, mana potion, stamina potion, and then one restorative that like brings back your stats or whatever else, or gets rid of bleeding, or gets rid of poison. The game does have a day and a night cycle. I haven't seen too many differences aside from the light levels and the ambient light in the game in between those two things, but I'm hoping in a finalized version they'll utilize it because the tooltips already mention things like sneaking and stealing and like crawling past enemies and stuff like that. And so it'd be real cool if the darkness actually affected that. Let's get these slimes out of the way. I wish I was hitting a little. Oh yeah, we have a rock throw that you guys haven't seen yet. All right, let's see how this rock throw does. We've got a dryad over here. Chuck a rock at her. Yeah, get bopped. Uh-oh. Okay, so she fired like a little magic missile type deal at me. I'll try to do my best to stay away from her. We got her stunned right now. Get her with the fireball, and then get her with a charge right there. Stay away from that. Uh-oh. Ow! Okay. Yep. Oh, big AoE. Okay, don't want to eat that one straight to the face. I don't need to have, like, foreign fluids inside any of my holes right now. What does she drop? A dryad lock? Okay. And then this thing over here had some seeds. Looks like we've got a padded undercoat right there. And we also got a ring out of the deal, which is kind of nice. And we got the alchemy table recipe, even though I think we already have that. Yeah, I think you start out with that by default. And so there's a bunch of little weird things with this game. Can I break that right there? I cannot break that right there, which means that our path to get up there is in a different direction. Looks like maybe if we go north and left from here, maybe it'll take me where I want to go. I don't know. We'll have a look and oh yeah, dude, it looks like corruption over here to me. Okay. Let's do the post-apocalyptic thing. As far as I can glean from the storyline, there was an elvish emperor that was like respected by everybody, but then he went rogue and butchered like 90% of his own people in like a giant pogrom. And ever since then, the world has had like these nasty rifts and tears that have been opening up all over the place, letting corrupted beasts. Oh, there's an ant too. That's fun. Okay. Well, we'll want to watch out for the ant. The ant's going to be a big problem for us. Throw a fireball that way, and if I can end up with enough mana left for me to throw out one of my rocks, I would like to. Yeah, throw a rock at him maybe? I don't know, rock versus wood. We'll see who wins here. That's normally not taken into account in your average, like, rock, paper, scissors game. Dodge that one right there. What do I have off cooldown right now? He's throwing all kinds of things at me. I don't have fireball ready to go yet. Maybe put a little bit on you. There we go. Just get... Oh, I'm staggered. That's super bad. Out my ass. Okay, let's drink a health potion real quick. Health is going to come back. I'm going to creep off this way for just a minute. Throw a fireball at him, maybe just to get him laid down. Stay out of the way of that. Put a little bit of heat on him. Hope I don't eat any projectiles here. Stay out of the way of that. Get him with another fireball while he's doing his thing over here. I'm going to dash back in with my explosion just to stack even more. Oh, no, dude, I dedicated to it. I don't know if I took damage from that, but it felt like I was going to take damage from that. Okay. Stay out of the way of that. Is my rock ready to go yet? Why is my rock not ready to go yet? Well, my rock is not off cooldown yet, I think, because I gotta hit this guy some more. My green meter recharges when I hit guys, and rock is very, very expensive. And so you can see it eats up most of my meter right there. But we survived it, and we made it out the other end. We've got a rune on the ground right there. Got a wolf fang right there. Okay, anything that I can hike back to town with me to make a little bit of money. I also need to farm some stone node. There's another one right there, isn't there? Yeah, that's the feeling I had. I kind of felt like there was going to be another one right there. All right, well, let's just stay away from that. Let me recharge my green meter real quick. Dash out. As you can tell from the HP values on this guy, this is a game that definitely wants you to be playing with your friends. It's manageable solo. I haven't had like a huge amount of difficulty with it solo, but that having been said, some of the HP pools in this game are quite grandiose, and I think that's on purpose, just so like you'll have open lobbies and whatnot and invite other people to come play with you. I don't know if the game has any plans for like endgame or rifting or anything else like that, like you'd see in maybe Diablo or something you would see in Path of Exile, but it'd be a good idea too. Let's get down here. Fireball you. Oh no, dude, I got stunned by the little branches as they came past. I've got to make a decision here about whether I want to pop one of my last potions in order to survive this, or if I just want to play really, really... Oh, that's what it is, dude. The hitbox is weird on those little branches right there. Okay. Man, he's doing all kinds of crazy stuff over here. You doing too much, man. There we go. Just drop him so I can regenerate real quick. You drop anything good? Treant Heart gives me 2 more potions. Let's get some rocks while I'm over here, too. I definitely need rocks so I can figure out the recipe for stone nails. I already figured out the recipe for planks, but I'm going to make some more of those too if we want to build anything else. The different nodes, they do have different levels of degradation as you smack them, which I kind of like. And so that really with this game only leaves the fact that the combat's a little bit clunky and some of the hitboxes are a little bit out there. Not all of them. I would say 95% of the hitboxes in this game are like ruthlessly fair. Like, you're fine. Don't have a toe inside the little red area and you'll be good. But every now and again, there's an attack that isn't marked by one of those little kind of ground painter things going on. What's going on over here? We got 2 wolves. Okay. Let me loot this first in case the worst happens and I wind up dead. Oh, we got a blue? What do we get for a blue? Nice, dude. That's pretty sick. I don't know if I'm going to slot it in just yet. I'll probably leave it alone for now and just break it. That way I can get some more shards. But hey, chuck a big rock at you. Yup. He don't want the rock smack. He don't want it. We got another wolf right there. It's about to dash in on me, so I'll just position carefully to get everybody lit on fire. Throw that back over there. I'm not letting my mana regen. We're going to have to get a little bit more mana if this rock throwing thing is going to be a long-term strategy for us. There we go. Perfect. If you don't like the screen shake in this game, they do already have an option in there where you can get rid of the screen shake if you want. Kind of up to you. Why'd the music just get all scary? Oh, it's another one of you guys. Okay. Let's dance, fancy man. Yeah, get out of the way of that. If I can throw a rock at him, I would like to throw a rock at him, but I'm thirsty and... Oh, I can't eat or drink in combat. Okay, let's run away real fast. Alright, so in running away, I gotta take a second, and I gotta refill my health meters. Or, I'm sorry, my... Oh, I had half health! I was wondering, once again, why things were chunking me so hard. That would explain it. Half my health was gone because of me just letting myself get hungry. Alright, let's get you lit up a little bit. Throw that out there. Pretty costly ability, all things considered. Maybe dash around to the outside. He's going to pull branches back at me, which I really need to stay away from. I feel like I've been toying with those branches a little bit too much. Let's get him lit on fire a little bit. Yeah, get a nice stack of fire on there. That way he's just ticking off. Uh-oh, I got no stamina left. Come on, die for me, baby. He's got branches coming back that way in the dark. Those branches are real hard to see before he fires them off. All right, give me a little bit of that. Oh, he caught me with that one, huh? This might have consequences. All right, get a little bit of fire going. Maybe just a couple little smackaroonies right there. And then we'll just stay back for a second while my yellow meter comes back. I would like a UI option where my stamina meter is like underneath my feet. I find that with a game like this where you're constantly dodging and moving around, I'm like, I would like to know how much stamina I have like under my character since that's where my view line and focus is. We don't have this area uncovered either. I don't know exactly where to look here, but what's off to the left? Ooh, it's that gooey. I was wondering why my movement speed was getting nerfed super hard. It's the gooey tar stuff on the ground. Throw that at her. Maybe give her a follow. Oh, she's got an ent friend. Fun. Okay, we're going to have to get a little hyped in here. It's going to have to get a little bit worse before it gets a little bit better. All right, dash out. Don't have the concentration to throw another big rock as much as I would like to. Got it right there. Okay. I don't really mind what I hit with the big rock as long as I hit something and it dies. Wait for that. See if I can get him. Fireball. There we go. Get him with a saucy fireball right there. No concentration meter to be spoken of. So now we're just going to hammer on each other for a little bit. After a little bit of hard fighting here, I've almost got his stamina meter all the way down. But I'm out of stamina too, so like we're both in a tough situation. All right, let's move around this way. Dash that way so that I avoid the attack, and down he goes. Dryad lock right there, a little bit more stone. How's my encumbrance looking? 130. I get the feeling we're probably going to get a bunch of loot when we kill whatever's inside of here, and so just maybe I'll think about not picking everything up. Okay, so we've got the Corrupted Grove right there. That right there is a waypoint. So we found a point of interest. That fills in the map once you find the little blue thing, so you actually know where you're at. Puppy, you ready for this mayhem? Let's see what we got waiting for us inside of here. A Corrupted Treant. Okay. Well, I'm guessing he's probably going to have similar movesets to just, like, the normal Treant. Yeah, it looks like he throws out a spike. I think, so the normal Treants, they only throw out one of those little bramble patches at a time. And so he's throwing out, like, a much larger grid that we've got to stay away from. The good news here is that he's pretty large, and one thing that I've noticed with the... Oof. Okay, one thing that I've noticed with the bigger one of those things on the ground right there. Obviously some kind of landmine or something. Do they go off instantly when I step on them? I don't really want to nuke my health right now because we've got a lot of fight left in front of us. But I think at some point, I'm going to have to test those things out and just kind of see what they do. Either way, let's see if we can bait them up north. And if we can get them up a little bit higher... Oh, he's going to fill the entire... Oh, good. They don't go off instantly. All right. Well... Oh, I caught that stun from behind him. As I was saying, I've noticed that the bigger model enemies tend to have, like, blind spots on them where you can just, like, stay on top of them, keep on whooping, keep on throwing down. But the downside to that, too, is that when you're, like, inside of his model, when he throws out those brambles over there, they go inside of his model as he reclaims them from, like, the boomerang throw. And so you may catch a little stun, which we did. I don't know what those do over there either. I see myself taking 2 damage at a time, so I'm guessing they're like poison patches or something else like that. On top of that, the big guy's sprite is unfortunately underneath the spell graphic right there. I don't know if that's intentional so that the player has visibility or if it's a bug, so I'm just going to leave it alone for right now. I'm trying to look at it, but I'm also trying to dodge this guy and stay the hell out of the way. Alright, let's see how it is. Fair enough. We got him a little bit below half, so that should be good. Dodge out of that. Ugh, he's putting down more mines. There's so many dead zones right now that I'm not allowed to stand on, man. This guy's creating nothing but dead zones everywhere. Let's just start clearing these out because they've got such a generous explosive radius anyways and like a timer on them that I don't think it's really gonna matter. Okay. He does spam attacks like a little bit faster than the normal Ents do for sure. Like the normal Ents, they've got enough room for you to get like 2 combos off in between each cast, but unfortunately this guy right here, he likes to throw out like 2 abilities at a time. Big rock, there we go, catch that thing with your face, Brody. Eat that thing real quick. Then again, I don't really know if throwing a big boulder at a guy that's made out of like soft and supple softwoods is like a really, really good idea. Maybe he's hardwood. I don't know, dude. This isn't really a channel where I appraise various types of wood very often, but maybe he's made out of like bubinga. You know, it's possible that he's made out of something awesome and exotic right now, and maybe we're about to get a big cash payout. Then again, he could just be made out of like pine. Kind of hard to say just from looking at him. Ooh, and got him with the last one, bro. I had to tempt fate right there. Love the pixel art of the stuff that we're killing, man. Just looks absolutely great. We did get a new rune. Maybe it'll be something good. Maybe it won't. But that's our main quest line enemy that's been wiped out right there. I've got one other quest. I don't know what it wants me to interact with over there. It says abandon something. Hold on, let me check my quests. Is it a side quest or is it like a main quest? Apparently there's a dead body over there. It's marked under deeds, actually, which is kind of an interesting distinction between main quest, side quest, deed. Since I've been out in the woods playing with wood this entire time, maybe we'll head back, though. That way we can see what kind of XP we get out of this situation, and maybe it'll buy us a couple of upgrades. Maybe there's like a new bench or something we can make as well. But one thing's for certain, I'm sitting on top of like a fat stack of loot right now that all needs to go somewhere. Like it needs to be broken down, it needs to be utilized, like it needs to be applied somehow in order to make me stronger. So I suppose back to town we go. Alright, townsfolk, I have rid you of yet another batch of things that are trying to murder you very, very violently and aggressively. If I slot that in right there, what stat gets upgraded? Do I get to, like, pick what stat gets upgraded? Looks like it's only, like, the top one, and then the other stuff is just, like, an extra little bonus. Strike damage going up is kind of nice, though, dude. I don't know if I want to break that one. It also makes my green meter regenerate on its own, which is kind of nice. Like, I think I've got movement speed over here. Yeah, I'd like to have a ring that has attack speed in the first slot. But then again, I could use some more damage. Maybe I'll just try it out for right now. Like, I'll hold on to my other attack speed ring. Although, I don't know which one is my other attack speed ring. Which one's my other attack speed ring? It's that one. Okay. How much dust did that give me? 403? How much is it going to cost me to upgrade the strike damage on this bad boy? Maybe I just go for attack speed for a little bit. There we go. Give me a little bit of attack speed. Like, I'm down for a little bit more attack speed. And honestly, we can probably get rid of that too. That way we can eke out another one. So we're at like 6% attack speed right here, which should help out a little bit. We can't feel it for right now, but we will be able to feel it. Let's go turn in this quest. But yeah, dude, my closing thoughts are that this game is too early to call right now in its development process, but I will say that there have been a number of features, a number of things that have jumped out as me as very, very encouraging. Like, I like how they didn't know what, like, mechanics to put in the game, so they were like, what if we just put them all in the game, you know? And frankly, that means that there's always some side thing to fool around with while you're inside the game, like figuring out how to make planks, figuring out how to do this, that, or the other. Let's see if we get any sweet-ass reward from killing that big guy. Grave news. If the forest has yielded the corruption, then it's reached the Earlwood. The spread is no longer contained. It's across Merkea now. We need to find the source within the Wildwood, and if we don't, the village won't survive. What was that thing? It was a treant once. The corruption fully claimed it. That only happens when the creature surrenders its will to dark gods, the iniquities. The corruption doesn't force, it tempts. It offers power, and some accept. Most forest creatures haven't given in, not fully. They're maddened, yes, but still themselves. This one wasn't. The form follows will. That's how corruption works. All right, well, tell me what you need. The source needs to be found. It's the only way to stop this. We know what needs to be done. We go to the heart of the Wildwood, but the way forward is blocked and the bridge is broken. Until it's rebuilt, we can't press on further. Seed of the village will move when the path is clear. Okay, and so yeah, put a bunch of icons above everybody else's heads, so we're going to have to help the town out a little bit further from here too. Wait, I can trade with you? What do you have? You have Shockwave and Bash? Oh, I need 12 strength to use Shockwave, though. Wonder if Shockwave's any good. I would like to see a sort function for the inventory too. I feel like with any icon-based, grid-based inventory, a sort function that like sorts everything out is a really, really good idea. But yeah, dude, I like this game quite a bit actually. I will be watching its progress over the next year or two. Like, the game doesn't have an announced release date yet. It just says coming soon. And so I'm going to keep an eye on it because the pixel art is gorgeous. The combat feels okay enough for right now. That's probably what I would focus on, is getting the combat to feel universally fluid. Right now, different abilities feel fluid when comboed with each other. Sometimes dodges animation break, which makes it feel really nice and fluid. But the whole thing needs to be brought together so that everything feels good and nice and fluid when you fire it off. Of course, I am playing the heaviest character in the game right now, so it may just be a side effect of playing like the ultimate warrior as well, who's wielding an axe that's like the size of a Prius. I haven't had a chance to play a human character yet, so I don't know if they're a lot faster and they start out with much better agility, but time will tell. I enjoyed my time with this game today. Truth be told, I started out kind of like, but as I got further in and I saw the full array of what they had on offer inside the game and like all of the mechanics and things that were slowly unfolding, I was like, all right, dude, it's got like a little bit of Stardew Valley. It's got like a little bit of Elden Ring inside of there. It's got a little bit of like a classic RPG inside of there. It's got crafting. It's got mining. It's got questing. It's got open world exploration. And so anyways, right now, my opinion is that I will be eagerly watching this game to see what they do with it as they move towards their release. Don't forget, playtest is in a couple of weeks if you wanted to try it out for yourself. Kind of limited in terms of character creation right now, but you can help them out with bug fixing, you can help them out with finding things, and frankly, I'm like 4 hours in, 5 hours in right now, and I have not even remotely ran out of things to do. I'm constantly going out to grab little like trade materials so that I can build up my base. I'm constantly like questing, looking for more treasure, upgrading my gear and my runes, and so thus far, I've been having a really good time. My name is Splattercat. I sit through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so that you don't have to. Today up on the chopping block, we were playing around with a game called Dimraeth. Tomorrow we'll be playing around with something else. That's all I got for you, folks, and I'll catch y'all later. Bye.